1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Sumera Kamal. The headlines first. Federal Cabinet has accorded approval to National Cyber Security Policy 2021 aimed at helping in data protection and prevention of cyber crimes. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have agreed to further improve their economic linkages and expand bilateral relations in new areas. Pakistan has taken strong exception to the gratuitous and unwarranted comments made in a report by the US State Department regarding Pakistan's judicial system. All Parties Hurriyat Conference has warned that Modi-led Indian fascist regime has worked out a long-term policy to kill Kashmiris in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir to change the demography of the disputed territory. NATO chief says the security situation in Afghanistan is deeply challenging and requires a negotiated settlement. European Union has called for a speedy return to political stability in Tunisia. And now the news in detail. The Federal Cabinet has approved National Cyber Security Policy 2021 for data protection and prevention of cyber crimes. This was announced by Minister for Information and Broadcasting Chaudhry Fawad Hussain in a press briefing about decisions taken in Federal Cabinet that met in Islamabad today with Prime Minister Imran Khan in the chair. Chaudhry Fawad Hussain said the policy has been introduced keeping in view the enhanced significance of cyber regime. He said approval was also given to dual nationality of Pakistan with Czech Republic and a new policy for foreign investment in the country. He said the new policy for foreign investment is aimed at providing security to international investors and reducing international litigation against Pakistan's bilateral agreements. Cabinet members congratulated the Prime Minister over PTI's victory in Azad Jammu and Kashmir. Chaudhry Fawad Hussain said Prime Minister appreciated efforts of Federal Ministers Ali Amin and Murad Saeed as well as Chairman Kashmir Committee Shahriyar Khan Afridi for running a successful election campaign in AJK. The Cabinet offered Fatiha over the martyrdom of 4 military soldiers during election duty and the people who died during elections. Over opposition's diatribes against PTI for rigging in elections, the minister said our government is first in the history that did everything for the transparency in the elections. He further said due to our fair conduct in election, we accepted our defeat in by-election. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have agreed to further improve their economic linkages and expand bilateral relations in new areas. The understanding came at a meeting between Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi and Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud in Islamabad today. Later, addressing a joint news conference, the Saudi Foreign Minister said both Pakistan and Saudi Arabia enjoy strong bonds. This fraternal relationship goes beyond many decades. Faisal bin Farhan Ali Saud said the establishment of Saudi-Pakistan's Supreme Coordination Council is an important milestone to take the bilateral relationships between the two countries to new levels and explore new opportunities of cooperation. He said both the countries will encourage their business community to interact more frequently to further strengthen the economic relations. The Saudi Foreign Minister said his country values the contributions made by Pakistani community in the economy of Kingdom. He said during talks today we discussed more opportunities for Pakistanis in Saudi Arabia. Alluding to the commonality of views on regional issues, the Saudi Foreign Minister said Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have agreed to continue to work together, including on Kashmir, Palestine, Afghanistan and Yemen to facilitate regional peace and stability. 46 Afghan soldiers, including 5 officers, were returned to Afghan government authorities at Nawa Pass, Bajor today. These soldiers from the Afghan National Army and Border Police were given safe passages into Pakistan on their request by Pakistan Army in Arundu sector of Pak Afghan International Border, Chitral. After necessary clearance, the Afghan soldiers crossed into Pakistan with their weapons, ammunition and communication equipment. According to ISPR, these soldiers have now been amicably returned to Afghan authorities on their request along with their weapons and equipment. The ISPR said Pakistan will continue to extend all kinds of support to its Afghan brethren in the time of need. Pakistan has taken strong exception to the gratuitous and unwarranted comments made in a report by US State Department regarding Pakistan's judicial system. Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Hafiz Chaudhry said the judiciary in Pakistan is independent and the courts are functioning in accordance with the constitution and laws of the country. The allegations to the contrary are firmly denied as factually incorrect and misleading. The spokesperson said, as a vibrant democracy, the government of Pakistan firmly believes in the separation of powers between the executive, legislative, and judicial branches of the state. There is no question of any coercion or pressure on Pakistan's judiciary. This is Radio Pakistan. President Dr. Arif Alvi has called for taking proactive measures to develop information technology sector that can contribute enormously to the economic and scientific development of the country. He expressed these views at a briefing on the National University of Computer and Emerging Sciences in Islamabad today. The president said that globally, the focus of development policies is shifting from brick and mortar development projects to the intellectual development of human resources, and Pakistan needs to adopt this modern strategy. The president said academia-industry linkages are essential for progress of the country. He also urged the need to increase the number of students with a special focus on the provision of hybrid and online education. The president asked the management to prepare students keeping in view the requirements of the fourth industrial revolution and focus on research and development. The 73rd martyrdom anniversary of Captain Muhammad Sarwar Shaheed Nishan-e-Haider is being observed today. Muhammad Sarwar was born in Singhori village in Gujarkhan on 10th November 1910. In a message on the occasion, Minister for Information and Broadcasting Chaudhry Fawad Hussain said Captain Sarwar Shaheed's invincible courage and unwavering loyalty will forever be an example of determination. He said his sacrifice for the motherland and Kashmir further strengthens our resolve that we will defend our homeland at all costs. In a tweet, Director General Inter-Services Public Relations Major General Babar Iftikhar said Captain Sarwar Shaheed's matchless chivalry, unwavering resolve and fortitude shall always be remembered. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has warned that Modi-led Indian fascist regime has worked out a long-term policy to kill the Kashmiri people one by one to change the demography of the disputed territory. All Parties Hurriyat Conference Working Vice Chairman Ghulam Ahmed Gulzar in a statement in Srinagar strongly condemned the unabated cordon and search operations, saying that the Indian occupational forces did not spare Kashmiris even during the sacred days of Eid al-Adha. He paid rich tributes to the last week's martyrs and deplored that India is using its military power in an uncivilized way to suppress the Kashmiris. NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg has urged for a negotiated settlement with Taliban in Afghanistan. In a statement after speaking to Afghan President Ashraf Ghani, he admitted that Afghanistan faced a deeply challenging security situation as foreign troops leave. He said the security situation in Afghanistan remains deeply challenging and requires a negotiated settlement. He said NATO will continue to support Afghanistan, including with funding, civilian presence and out-of-country training. The first T20 of 4 matches series between Pakistan and West Indies will be played at Bridgetown tomorrow. The match will start 7 p.m. according to Pakistan's Standard Time. In Tokyo Olympics, the United States is on the top position on the medals table with 9 gold, 5 silver and 8 bronze medals. China holds the second position with 9 gold and 5 silver and 7 bronze medals, followed by Japan with 9 gold, 3 silver and 5 bronze medals. And finally, the weather. Rain with wind and thunder shower with isolated heavy fall is expected in Islamabad, Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Kashmir. However, hot and humid weather is likely to prevail in most parts of the country. To end the news, here are some of the headlines once again. Federal Cabinet has accorded approval to a National Cyber Security Policy 2021 aimed at helping in data protection and prevention of cyber crimes. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have agreed to further improve their economic linkages and expand bilateral relations in new areas. NATO chief says security situation in Afghanistan is deeply challenging and requires a negotiated settlement. European Union has called for a speedy return to political stability in Tunisia. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/radio Pakistan News.